Hello, welcome to the Elevate Your Wellbeing podcast with myself, Rachael Wagstaffe. We're at the end of January. How are you getting on? How are you getting on with the goals you set for yourself at the beginning of the year, just 3 weeks ago? Have any dropped off the wagon? Have you dropped off the wagon? And if you have, firstly, it's okay. January is not a fabulous time to get started, especially those of us in the Northern Hemisphere. It's cold, it's dark, and sometimes you just want to get to an easier time to really start looking after yourself. So maybe listen to last week's, and it's like something as simple as drinking water. Sometimes you just got to go right back to the basics. And the key reason why I want to highlight this is because health is respect. Looking after your health is self-respect. Health is wealth. When you feel good, it has this massive ripple effect on the other people around you. So if guilty feelings, guilty thoughts come up when you're trying to look after yourself and you're trying to do some self-care, know that it is essential. And yes, I know the guilt is real as well, because if you feel like you're taking something away from someone else, you can't look after someone else as well as if you aren't well, if you aren't looking after yourself. And there are ways to really get around this. Now, if you are like a new parent, you've got a child under one, it is going to be challenging. You've just got to get through because this is just a season. But around that is also creating those loving boundaries. So you could be like, I need to do this for myself first, because it's noticing, how are you around other people? Like if you're biting their heads off, if you're just whinging or even gossiping because you just feel like you need to get something off your chest, that can be better placed in a journal or self-reflecting on, why am I allowing this to make me feel like this? And that's where that self-care practice comes in, meditating, journaling. And it's like I said, it's knowing health is respect. Looking after yourself is being respectful to yourself, because you've been given this opportunity, this body, however it's come out with, whatever you're able to do, which I'm going to go into on a future episode. But I just wanted to highlight, we're a few weeks into the new year, and if you're still going with that focus every day, amazing, congratulations. If you're not, what's holding you back? So I want this episode to be a little invitation to what's potentially stopping you, what's coming up for you, and what are you letting control you because you can't control it, or you feel you can't control it. If you feel like you don't have enough time, where can you drip feed that time in? A lifestyle audit is really powerful. And if you feel like you don't have the time to fit in what you feel you should be doing, book a strategy call with me. The link is in the show notes, and select in there that you want to do a lifestyle audit on the call. We'll go through and do that completely on the call together, so we can really see where you do have the time to do something. So these little things, these little practices really have a ripple effect, because when you start to feel good, you realize how important that is to put in your diary, to stay focused on feeling like your best self. Looking after yourself means that you're able to look after other people in the best way that you can possibly. So don't worry if you're falling off the wagon. It happens. Like I said, January is not the best time. I'm not going to say perfect. It's not the best time to do it because of how we feel. I've been creating a bit of a different habit for myself, and I have really noticed how when the mornings are darker, so hopefully this is going out, we've gone past winter solstice, so we've gone past the shortest day of the year. So hopefully we're starting to, again, feel that different ripple effect, because it will be starting to get lighter in the mornings. But I've been starting a new habit, and I've really noticed the difference with how much more of a challenge it is when it's darker out. And I can really feel that, like, urge to hibernate because obviously it's dark out. And it can be really challenging to create that motivation when it's darker because it has that impact on your energy, which is why I'm bringing that up. So it's, again, just really notice what's coming up. Reflect and review. Have a little mini review. What have you been doing over the last few weeks since you've reviewed the last year, reviewed the end of the year, gone into the new year with your goals? Have you blocked the time out? Have you been booking that time with yourself and sticking with it? Or have you felt unmotivated towards it? Is it actually a priority? Is that a priority? And if it's not, if you can't make it stick, come back to something really simple, like how do you actually want to feel? How do you want to feel? Remember when you were making that New Year list? You could be anything. What would you want to be? Who would you want to be? If you could do anything, what would you want to do? If you could have anything, what would you want to have? And how does that make you feel? It's coming back to that's your motivation. I want to feel like that. And if you don't feel like that at the moment, what's the next best thing that you could do to help you get on track to feeling like that? What's the next best thing that you could do to help you get on track to feeling like that? And this is the power of coaching. It really, really helps you to stay focused, stay on track. And I'm just having a quick look in my photos because I shared something on my Instagram and it was highlighting the difference between a health coach and a life coach. And I thought this was really interesting because I've always seen myself as a health coach / wellbeing coach. I see them as both the same. And I was always kind of like intrigued on what the definition was for a life coach. And having read this, the two do overlap, but I do feel like I sprinkle in a bit of both. So the health coach aspect is empowering you to find the foods or the lifestyle practices that work best with focusing on holistic health. Holistic health is very much my background. A life coach is a guide for their clients to the awareness of your strengths and release limiting beliefs with a focus on inner work. Now, I love inner work. And for me, that's really coming around to the mindset, stories that we tell ourselves. So how these two are linked is both a health coach and life coach are agents of change. They have unbiased support. They hold their clients accountable and help you to set goals. So it's bringing in that mindset. And that's why I do really highlight that a lot on here, is because the mindset is the first step. We're noticing the stories that you're telling yourself, those limiting beliefs, and highlighting the strengths that you do have, and then sprinkling in some of the tools like I did last week with the hacks to say drink more water. It's like, well, if I can do that for drinking more water, how can I sprinkle those sorts of hacks, that viewpoint of how those hacks were breaking down and created to potentially do or create or reach the goal that is that you've set for yourself in the new year. And when we go into the Vibrant Wellbeing method, which is my 12-week coaching program, that's where I really bring in the tools to help you create those lifestyle changes. So it's, where are you potentially falling off the wagon when it comes to respecting yourself, when it comes to your health? So is it the mindset? Is it the motivation? Do you need that accountability? Do you need that support? And you can get a lot more of that from me completely free in my free Facebook group. I go live in there every single week. All of the lives are recorded, so you can go back and find a specific topic that you might want to learn from. You can ask questions related to the topic I'm going live on. If you have got other questions that aren't related, but are related to what I do as a coach, you are very welcome to book a free strategy call. Like I said, if you feel like you just don't have the time, that you're too busy, then book that strategy call and book in for a lifestyle audit. You can literally tick the box for that. And then we can see from there whether having that additional support and the tools to help create that more holistic lifestyle is something that will help support you moving forward through 2024 with the Vibrant Wellbeing Method. So have a little look at the show notes, all the links for those in the show notes, the free Facebook group, and to book a strategy call. You could also reach out to me on Instagram. That's linked on there as well if you do have other questions. And I will join you next week.